In this video, you will learn 10 things you must do after installing Ubuntu 21.04. Ubuntu 21.04 is not much different from Ubuntu 20.04, so if you need a more extensive guide on how to configure and tweak your system, I highly recommend you to watch my previous video on 50 things to do after installing Ubuntu 20.04. Everything you see in that video can still be applied in the current Ubuntu release. But in this video, I will show you 10 the most essential things every user who installed Ubuntu 21.04 must do after installing it. And before we start, have a look at this guy.
Hey, what's up? I'm Marquez Brownlee, aka MKBHD on the internet. I make YouTube videos about tech products. I'm excited to share my process, which I haven't really done before because
MKBHD is the most popular tech YouTuber, and just recently he has published his first Skillshare class, where he shares the whole process of creating his YouTube videos. You can watch it for free thanks to the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where members get unlimited access to thousands of inspiring classes with hands-on projects and feedback from the community. There are many fantastic videos that will help you to deepen your existing passion and explore new skills. The first 1000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership to access these MKBHD's videos and many other great videos. Don't miss the chance, click the link in the description. And we will start with creating a backup of our system. And to do that, you simply need to open a backup app from the menu and click Create First Backup. Then you just need to follow the guide on the screen. So I recommend you to backup at least your home directory, or you can backup your whole system. And you can also exclude some directories. Usually you exclude your trash, and you can also exclude your download. You can include more folders here, if there are folders which you don't want to backup. Then you click Forward and decide where you want to save your backup. There are options to save it to your Google Drive, to some network servers, or to some local folders. For example, if you have 2 hard drives, you can backup your one hard drive to another hard drive. This is what I usually do on my system. So I select local folder, and then I choose the folder where I will backup my system. And click OK. Then I click Forward. You can also encrypt your backup, but I will do it without encryption. So the backup of my system has been created. I also highly advise you to enable automatic backups, which you can do here. You can also configure these automatic backups if you go to the menu, Preferences, and here you decide how often you want to make your backups. I believe weekly backups, which is the default option, is the most optimal solution. But if you have some critical data, you may want to do your backups daily. So now, when you have backed your system, you are safe to go to the next step. Install drivers. Ubuntu installs open source drivers on your system by default, and usually they work fine, but you may get some little better performance if you install proprietary drivers on your system. So to install proprietary drivers, you just need to go to the menu and search for additional drivers application. Open it, wait for some time, it will automatically detect your hardware and suggest you any proprietary drivers which are available for your system. For example, I have NVIDIA graphic cards, and it recommends me to install these proprietary NVIDIA graphic drivers. I usually select the latest option and install it. After the installation, I recommend you to reboot your system and see if you get better performance. If you notice some problem, you can always click on this revert button and revert the changes to the previous driver. But also pay attention that in Ubuntu 21.04, if you install NVIDIA proprietary driver, Ubuntu will automatically switch to Xorg Windows system, which is considered to be inferior in terms of performance to Wayland, which is a default Windows system. So I recommend you to try both NVIDIA open source driver with Wayland Screen Manager and also NVIDIA proprietary driver with Xorg, and see what works better for you. Install Codecs and Microsoft fonts. Ubuntu doesn't include many of the Codecs and Microsoft fonts because of the copyright issue. But to be able to play MP3 files and many media formats, you need to install these extra codecs. Luckily, you can easily do that by running just one simple command in the terminal. Open your terminal and run this command. Install Ubuntu Restricted Extras and Ubuntu Restricted add-ons. Type your password. By the way, you can copy-paste this command from the corresponding blog post, which you will find in the description under this video. So you can accept this license by clicking Tab key on your keyboard and pressing Enter. Here again you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to accept the license and continue the installation. So after the installation you will be able to play most of the media formats, and you will be also able to use Microsoft fonts such as Arial, Times New Roman and Comic Sans, which will be available among the fonts in your LibreOffice and other programs of your Ubuntu system. Decrease swap usage. By default, Ubuntu has a balanced swap usage between systems with low memory and high memory, but I believe most of the desktop users have at least 8 gigs of RAM memory, and they can benefit from using that RAM memory as much as possible and to reduce the number of writes to the hard drive, which is slower than your RAM memory. I explain more this process in my video on Linux swap, so I encourage you to watch it. So if you have at least 8 gigs of RAM memory, I highly recommend you to decrease the swap usage, and to do that you just need to open the terminal and first check your current swappiness value, and the default value is 60. And to change that value you just need to open the file atc/sysctl for editing with gedit, enter your password, go to the end of this file, paste VM swappiness equal 10. Then save this file and close it. Reboot your system. After the reboot, check your swappiness value again, and you will see it is 10. So now your system will write as much as possible to your RAM memory and will start using your swap partition, which is located on your hard drive, only at the very end when your RAM memory is almost full. Enable minimize on click in dock. This is one of the most annoying things in Ubuntu for many releases now. When you open an application, you can see it is open in your dock, but when you click on this icon again, nothing happens, it doesn't minimize. Luckily, you can easily enable this minimization on click if you go to the terminal and run this command. Again, you will find this command in the blog post, which will be linked in the description under this video. After you run this command and you try the minimization again, now it works. As you can see, I can open an application on the first click, and on the second click it minimizes. I believe this is such a useful behavior. I still don't understand why it is not enabled by default in Ubuntu, and you have to enable it yourself. Install GNOME Tweaks. GNOME Tweaks is an application which gives you some extra options for configuring your GNOME desktop. I also wish it was installed in Ubuntu by default. Luckily, you can easily install it by running sudo apt install GNOME Tweaks. After the installation, you can open it from the menu if you search for Tweaks. As you can see, it has many useful options. For example, you can customize your Ubuntu system much more using GNOME Tweaks, and I show how to do that in my video on Ubuntu themes, which you can watch by clicking on this card, and you will also find the link in the description. There are many more useful options here, so I recommend you to explore them yourselves. Enable GNOME extensions. As you may know, Ubuntu uses GNOME Desktop, and the power of GNOME Desktop is its extensions. But you cannot just simply install extensions in your Ubuntu by going to GNOME Extensions website, because first you need to enable extensions in your Ubuntu, and you can easily do that by running this simple command, which will install GNOME Shell extension, which enables extension integration on your GNOME desktop, and I also recommend you to install GNOME Shell Extensions app, which will help you to manage all the installed extensions, so you can enable and disable them simply in one application, and you also have overview of all installed extensions. I will show you in a second. So let's install them. So after the installation, if you go to GNOME Extensions website again, refresh this web page, then you just need to install browser extension. And now you can install any extension from this website. For example, let's install Clipboard Indicator. I believe it is a very useful extension. You just need to click here, enable it, and then install. And after the installation, the extension is available right here. Also, if you go to the menu and search for extensions, you will see this app, which will show you all the installed extensions on your Ubuntu desktop, and you can easily enable and disable them right from here. So this shows you free built-in extensions, and this is the extension we have just installed. You can also click on this preference icon and configure this extension to your needs. I believe this is very useful and a must-have application for any Ubuntu user. Enable Night Light. Night Light reduces the amount of blue light on your screen at night, which is better for your eyes, and it also helps you to fall asleep easily if you work in front of your computer late at night, as I usually do. You can easily enable it in Ubuntu because it is a built-in feature, but you need to enable it. Go to the settings, displays, and here at the top you will see this second tab which is called Night Light. Click on it and enable it. And the default settings are fine for most of the users. Unless you want more specific settings, you can also configure it here. So now your eyes are safe. Show battery percentage. I don't know why it's not enabled by default, but I believe it is essential to see how much power is left on your battery, as you can see right now on my panel. You can easily enable this percentage if you go to the settings, power, and here at the very bottom of this window, you'll see an option to enable battery percentage. Click on it, and you will see how much power is left on your battery in percentage on your panel. So you will know when it's time to run and search around for your charger. Install Ubuntu Cleaner. Although the system is new and very clean, with time you will accumulate many files which will clutter your system. You can easily clean your system with a new app which is called Ubuntu Cleaner. This is how it looks, and to install it you just need to open the terminal, add Ubuntu Cleaner repository. Again, these commands will be provided in the description of this video. Click enter to edit, update your system with sudo apt update, and install Ubuntu Cleaner with sudo apt install Ubuntu Cleaner. So now, when you need to clean up your Ubuntu system, you know which app to use for that. I hope these 10 essential things to do after installing Ubuntu 21.04 were useful. But remember, if you want more tips, for example how to test your web camera, how to test your microphone, how to add a printer to your system, or even how to connect your Android phone with your Ubuntu system, I highly recommend you to watch my previous video on 50 things to do after installing Ubuntu. Thank you for watching!